Hey, what's up guys, over here. So today we're going to be talking about Dragon Age the Veilguard. This is a game that comes out in roughly a month and it's been much anticipated. However, a lot of gamers and fans of this franchise are worried that this game and its developers have been infected with DEI nonsense. Now, if you look at the reviews, the early reviews of this game, you would think it's an amazing product. You can see right here some of the reviews, like Game Rant calling it a definite Game of the Year contender, and IGN saying the character creator I've always wanted, and also GameSpot saying BioWare at its most confident. Now that doesn't really make sense because there's a very big disconnect between these reviews and some of the pre-orders of this game. In fact, Dragon Age the Veilguard right now is in the nearly 200s in terms of pre-orders, and from some pretty reliable sources in terms of this data, we see that the retail insider cited by Craig here is saying that the Veilguard has around 1,100 pre-orders across their 900 plus stores. That's basically one pre-order per store. Now, what's going on here? Well, I think there's a very obvious disconnect between what games journalists are saying and what players are actually receiving. And you can see some of the early reviews here by PC Gamer, for example, saying, "Playing 6 hours of Dragon Age the Veilguard gave me the faith its trailers couldn't. This is the BioWare comeback fans wanted." Now keep in mind, this is the same team that recently said that Concord looks very good. So trust them as little as you can trust any games journalist for that matter. But on top of that, a lot of people are looking at the previews of this game and they're like, what happened? What happened to this franchise that I have enjoyed for a long time and had a very iconic image, and now we see this disparity between what is now and what has been in the past. And a lot of people are looking at this and saying, what happened? Now, right now, we're going to see exactly what happened. And in the previews of this game, the most focused on aspect of this game has been the character creation process. Not the gameplay, not anything else. The main thing that games journalists and the developers over at Dragon Age the Veilguard have been promoting is the character creation process. They are putting a heavy emphasis on this, and to give you a preview of what we're about to watch, it doesn't look very good. Despite the copium among games journalists and activists on Twitter, it just doesn't look good. And of course, IGN is here to shill for this game, and let's see what they had to say about this character creation process.
The character creator in Dragon Age the Veilguard is incredible. There are so many options and sliders, from the usuals like hair color and style, eye shape, noses, all the way down to things like bulge size. Vitiligo, we got that. Heterochromia, of course. Asymmetrical ears, body and face tattoos, 8 different styles of glitter, and even a melanin slider. If you're not feeling particularly creative or you just want to get started as soon as possible with a good-looking character, there are a bunch of presets to choose from as well. As a bonus, the character creator also features various lighting conditions to simulate in-game environments, so rest assured you'll have full control here to make the character of your dreams, like I did.
So right off the bat, a lot of people are looking at previous products from this franchise like Dragon Age Origins concept art versus the Dragon Age the Veilguard modern audience concept art. You can see there is a very big difference. But at the end of the day, we gotta look at what IGN and Dragon Age have presented us with this new game, saying this is an incredible design of a character. An incredible design. I mean, it literally looks like Squilliam Fancy Son had a child with Puff the Magic Dragon. It just looks ridiculous, but they say this is incredible. It's really, really weird that we have to sit here and pretend like these designs are something that is novel and amazing. They have tried so hard to virtue signal with this stuff that it's blatantly obvious, and a lot of people are seeing through this nonsense. And you can see this comment from the Critical Drinker here saying, "Is it just me, or are character creation screens nothing but stupid, narcissistic waste of time?" And a lot of people got very angry about this, I'd say fair observation, including, for some reason, he was quoted by the official Phantasy Star Online accounts. And they said this, "You wouldn't last an hour in the asylum where they raised me." Ooh, very edgy. Well, unfortunately, a lot of people don't appreciate an official account using their status to dunk on someone on Twitter. Like, come out with game updates and relevant things like that and keep your mouth shut otherwise. And that's reflected in the comments here. You can see this first one saying, "This is why every single American branch of foreign companies needs to be shut down. Expensive money sinks full of people too stupid to be useful anymore." Another one saying you wouldn't last an hour in the uncensored version of your game. Another comment saying you say this as an international PSO2 and character creation restrictions though. And then another one saying real professional using the company account for random dunks. And that is really the issue here, okay? The unprofessionalism and also just showing that you have such a bias towards any sort of criticism towards products you like or products that reflect your own values that you literally break character just to make tweets like this. But referring to Savvy here, she made a pretty funny series of interactions here, saying this about the character creation process of Dragon Age, saying, I am a 108-pound woman who sits for 15 plus hours a day. I am not even in my prime here, and you're telling me this is your 100% on the bum slider. At Dragon Age, explain how this is your most inclusive character creation yet, because I can't even make my skinny bum in the game. I don't get it. Who was this character creator mode for? Because it certainly wasn't for me. These sliders do nothing. And you can see from these photos here, she maximized the bust on the backside of this character, and this is the result. This is as far as you can go. They are deathly afraid of anything that resembles a busty character in these games, and yet they allow you to make infinite modifications to your characters, but that goes a step too far. Now, going further, people would get viscerally angry about this tweet, okay? This person would reply saying, bitch, you ain't be even alive when Veilguard launches, which is a not so subtle threat, again, over criticism about a character creation process in a video game. And here's another one saying, thinly veiled hatred for trans people yet again. It would be funny if you actually intended to make any sort of a joke, but I guess yourself is enough. Ooh, what a burn. As you can see, this person sees a character creation process not allowing a character to be busty, and they think that is transphobia, which is a very strange narrative, but one a lot of people are pushing with this game because of this right here. So apparently in Dragon Age the Veilguard, in the character customization feature, you can also give yourself whatever pronouns you want, but also you can customize characters' chest and add top surgery scars as presented in this review of the character creation process.
But he, him, she, her, and they, them, and then your gender is man, woman, non-binary. Love that. Love the inclusivity. Top surgery scars are also included in this for all of our trans and non-binary rooks out there. I absolutely was blown away by this. It's beautiful to see the inclusion in the game and to see yourself represented.
So it probably doesn't surprise you, but a lot of people were talking about this particular feature, some people praising it, some people criticizing it. But we're going to turn now to Artur, who is the developer of the Soul Ash franchise. We actually talked about the backlash Soul Ash 2 was getting from a lot of activists on Twitter who were attacking this developer, claiming that he was being homophobic because he refused to allow pressure on social media to change the development of his game. In this particular case, his game is about creating a legacy through your family. And in the game, he only allowed heterosexual couples because it just makes sense for the functionality of this game. And he said he wouldn't be pressured by the activists on Twitter to create homosexual couples as an option, because not only does it not really make sense for them from the game standpoint, but also he'd have to basically redesign the majority of the game itself just to accommodate the desires of these few people complaining about it on Twitter. And he had something to say about this whole situation. So he says, Dragon Age Veilguard is everything that repels me from modern AAA. Marketing overemphasizes divisive details for controversy. News call it the Game of the Year contender because of innovative DEI features and story, while acknowledging dull combat. The gameplay does not look fun at all. I guess I'm not the target audience, so back to Black Myth Wukong, Game of the Year, and Indies. And here is another section of comments actually picked up from the Japanese side of Twitter. Translated, of course, it says, the latest Dragon Age game has a medieval worldview, but as a result of considering some people, they have added, in addition to he and she, making it possible to select mastectomy scars. Overseas people say, is it really necessary to perform surgery in a world where magic is possible? And also saying, what percentage of gamers have surgery scars? What do y'all think? And a lot of people had a lot to say about that in the replies to this tweet. But overall, this game is really representative of everything that's getting rejected by a lot of gamers right now. A lot of political nonsense, a lot of pandering and virtue signaling, and really focusing on impressing people on Twitter a lot more than impressing your existing fan base and also your potential customers with this big release. And a lot of people, including the games journals, the activists, what have you, they are going all in on this game. They are really hoping this game succeeds so they can say, ha, see, some of the quote-unquote woke games can succeed. But from everything we've seen with the pre-orders and the initial reception of this game, really all they have right now is the character creation process, which a lot of people are clowning on. So things are not looking very good for this upcoming release. Like you can see right there, it launches in about a month, and we'll have to wait and see how it performs. But based on the history of this year in particular, games like this are not doing very well, and that shouldn't surprise you. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to leave your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.